Alright, back. Motor Sports Talk. We in the building. Told you guys I had a Piston video. Then I got one more line video. And I saved the Patricia slander for in the morning. I probably got to go to the vet. Miles got like a little eye pus coming out his eye. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to take him to the vet sometime tomorrow. But I was feeling down because Miles' eye was messed up. Then I was feeling down because the Lions lost today. But I won my FanDuel group today, so I'm on a little bit of a high right now. But let's talk about some Piston basketball. As you know, Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin, Langston Galloway, Christian Wood won't be attending the Pistons' little mini bubble market camp. But we'll get to that in a minute. But let's talk about Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown, I seen he did an interview with the Free Press or something like that. He said that basically he's just a hooper, he's just a baller. No, the Pistons need to identify him as a point guard. That's what he is. He should be building his game in the mode of a Lindsey Hunter, a Mike James, Mookie Blaylock, something like that. But I think he can kind of be like a hybrid between those guys because how good defensively he is. And I think offensively, hopefully this video gets to him. He should not stop watching Tony Parker film. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And, Tony Parker came into the league, good athlete. Get to the bucket, finish at the bucket. That's always been his thing. But Tony Parker, he followed basic basketball fundamentals. And you know what fundamentals are? The closer you are to the rim, the higher percentage you're going to shoot. So he can always dribble, get to the rim, finish at the rim. So Parker sat there and said, you know what? I need a floater. Bam, he got a floater. I need to focus on the mid-range. Let's not worry about the three-point game because I'm a dominate the paint, and I'm going to get N1s in the paint all day. N1, so I'm going to get 3 points, and I'm going to get the option in foul trouble. But let me get this, when they build that wall like they do on Giannis, let me be able to hit the elbow, hit the mid-range game. Now I'm unstoppable. I don't have to have a three-pointer to average what I need to average, 17, 20. I can facilitate. Even if I want to average 30, Bernard King was averaging 50 in the Detroit Piston playoff series. They beat us back in the day before we was the bad boys by just block game, getting to the free throw line and the mid-range jumper. So you don't have to shoot threes to average 20, 30 points. You can ask Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, a lot of different guys didn't shoot as many threes they shoot today. So Bruce Brown is a point guard, and he's a point guard that's built to be a Detroit Piston. He's a point guard that's built as Mike James. He's built like Lindsey Hunter. He's built in the mode of Joe Dumars. He's built to be a really, really good defender. And it's sad that Joe Dumars is no longer with the organization because Joe Dumars can take his GM suit and tie off and he really can share with Bruce Brown how to really play defense at that size. And Bruce Brown got the athleticism. Bruce Brown could defend. I watched him do a good job 2 years ago at the Little Caesars Arena on Kawhi Leonard. He guarded Kawhi Leonard as good as I've seen anybody guard him that year for the first half. But offensively, he like a broke ice maker. He wasn't making no ice. He wasn't making no hay. Offensively, he became a liability. And now he thinking that I got to shoot threes to fit in this league. No. Go back to you and Giannis can go through the same. Y'all can train together, honestly. Y'all got the same problem. You got to get you a floater and you got to master that mid-range. You, Ben Simmons, Giannis, y'all able to master that mid-range and that floater and get to the rack. They can't build the wall at the three-point line. You know what I'm saying? Because they built that wall at the free throw line. That's you. That's Ben. That's Giannis. Well, being like that. But that's, honest, that's Bruce Brown. You know what I'm saying? And they sink that wall in and you hit that floater, man, you're going to be beautiful. They can't guard you. Once you develop that mid-range jumper, they can't guard you. And he's a point guard. When you see him pushing the one, that's when he getting 10, 12, 15 rebounds. That's when he getting 8, 9, 10 assists. That's when he, offensively in tune. He's a guy that needs the ball in his hand to facilitate, that handle the pace. Do we need to brush up on his point guard, encyclopedia, his knowledge? A lot. But that comes. He's a second round pick, so he has, things to develop. But naturally, he can facilitate, and naturally he put you in the mindset of a poor man's Jason Kidd, a poor man's Tony Parker. He's just a better defender. You know what I'm saying? A poor man's, just Grant Hills. Some of those guys that can not per se position, but can fill the stat sheet. Yeah, I can give you rebounds. I can give you steals. Can he be the point guard of the future? You know what I'm saying? It's up to the Pistons. They can bring in Halliburton. They could bring in Killian Nicole Anthony. But if Bruce Brown work on this game, it's going to be undeniable that he deserved the spot. But he can be, like I said, Mike James off the bench. He can be a contributor to a championship level Piston team off the bench. He can guard 1 and 2 really good. And if he just have to add to his offensive game, and had he did that last summer instead of practicing 3-pointers, that's what he need to be in the gym doing. Watching Kidd, watching Magic, watching Grant, even a little bit of Scottie Pippen, watching those guys. They weren't the greatest shooters, but they had just enough mid-range and just enough, floaters and the ways to get to the bucket. That's all he need to really watch is just work on the mid-range jumper. Everybody think you need a 3. Tony Parker film for him all day. Offensively, that's all he need to do. If he can find Tony Parker and work out with Tony Parker, that'd be beautiful. He just keep shooting mid-range shot, elbow, key, free throw line, elbow, just outside the, in the hardwood, inside the 3-point line. Just keep working on that shot. He's a point guard. He's better with his ball in his hand because what can he do without the ball in his hands offensively? He can slash, he can cut, he can get to the rim, but when that ain't working, he can't catch and shoot. You don't want him coming off the curl and hitting it at the elbow, So, he's a point guard. And they need to identify him. Don't go with this where the league is at with these position fluid or these positionless players. No. Identify what he do. He handles the ball well. He facilitates well. He fills the stat sheet. He can defend. He can be part of your building process as a championship team. Anybody that can give you that defensive effort, he just got to get the offense going. But, that's what I believe, that Bruce Brown is a good player. People just look and say, oh, he can't shoot, he's trash. Or Ben Simmons can't shoot, he's trash. Giannis can't shoot, he's trash. It's more than shooting a 3. You go back in the day, these teams was averaging more points per game, and they wasn't even attempting 8 threes a game. You know what I'm saying? Look at Bernard King's stats. And I did a Retro Hoop Series episode, and I got to do one of those pretty lately again on my other channel. Check it out, Goodfellas Sports TV. And check out my Retro Hoop Series spotlight on him. He was a dog, and the old Piston fans know. Yeah, him and Isaiah had that war that playoff. What was that, 85, 86, whatever? Man, Bernard King averaged about 50 points on the Pistons and didn't attempt a 3. Bernard King block game. Oh, man. I'll give you a category if I finish talking about Blake. I love old school basketball. One of my favorite guys to watch, not only Bernard King, but Pete Maravich. Young guys. You go see Pete Maravich, in some of the drills that he did, it was before. Pete Maravich was and1 before and1. One of the greatest, he was just great. Passing the ball, his drills. I mean, he could play in this era and be very, very successful. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that I look at and say, you know what? He was way before his time. You know what I'm saying? But looking at, go watch Bernard King. You young guys that's tall, Bernard King block game was just sweet. You ever hit a baseball? Maybe a lot of kids, or you ever play golf? I play golf and baseball. You ever play baseball and you hit the ball and you hit it in a sweet spot? You know what I'm saying? You don't feel vibration from the aluminum or the wood. When you hit a baseball, golf club, right? You don't feel that vibration. It just feels so sweet. It's like one of the best feelings you can feel in sport. It just feels sweet. You don't feel nothing. It's just effortless. You feel this feeling. It's like vibrations without the vibration. That was his block game. You just look at Bernard King. Oh my God. He remind Melo. That's who Melo tried to play like, just with a 3-point game. And my 3 favorite block games of all time, post games, for people to understand. If you an athletic big fella and you got good feet, Hakeem Olajuwon is the guy you want to watch. But if you pedestrian or you average with your feet, and that's okay, Kevin McHale, Bernard King, those the guys you want to be watched. Fundamentally, those guys had the best post game I ever seen. Fundamentally, Kevin McHale was a technician on the block. Bernard King was a technician. Flashy footwork, this, that, and the third. I love watching Hakeem. I can do some of my Hakeem moves when I was younger. That's how I play one-on-one. You post up, I drop, show with the ball, come back. You know what I'm saying? And then, this good come back and go for that ball fake, go right up. Hakeem Olajuwon is one of my top 6 or 7 players of all time. And Bernard King is one of my most underrated players of all time. And I think Kevin McHale is very underappreciated too. You know what I'm saying? But to talk about, I kind of babbled on a little bit. But to talk about Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin, Langston Galloway, and Christian Wood not being at the Pistons facility for their little bubble training camp, no need to be there. Christian Wood, he a free agent. No need to hurt yourself and mess your money up. Langston Galloway, he a free agent. There's no need to get injured and mess your money up. And guess what? They're valuable to the Pistons, if they play somewhere else, because both of those guys are two, sign and trade guys that you can sign and trade. Langston Galloway played very well last year. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. But also other teams are looking for a guy that can shoot like him. And obviously Christian Wood, it's up to him. We could sign him to any offer sheet. If somebody wanted to max him out and wanted us to sign and trade him, we could max him out because we got $40 million in cap and trade him. So they valuable. If they hurt themselves to training camp, they no value to us, and they no value to anybody else. And Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, they are what they are. They don't need to develop at that stage of their career. Blake Griffin ain't getting no better, and Derrick Rose ain't getting no better. And once again, Derrick Rose is a prime candidate to get traded because he doing this Andre Drummond impression this year, saying, I can't wait to get back to Chicago. So obviously, we can move him to Chicago and accommodate him. Especially you looking for Bruce Brown to step into that point guard backup spot. Or, Bruce Brown develop enough, he can start at point guard. But ideally, you want to keep Derrick Rose around for the development of Bruce Brown and whoever you do bring in to play point guard if you do draft. So, you don't want Derrick Rose injured. You want to let him enjoy his summer. He a veteran. He going to come in shape. He going to come right. Blake Griffin going to come in shape, come right. But then again, their value is more mental, mental importance more than physical importance. We need Blake Griffin to really show some of these young guys that's coming in how to be professional, how to win and close out basketball games. And we need Derrick Rose to do the same thing and show guys, I've been to the highest of highs, I've been to the lowest of lows, and show these guys how to really find their footing. And I don't think there's two more, better professional pros than you want on your team than Blake and Derrick. So you don't really have to have those guys. Most of the young guys will be there. Bruce, Tony Snell. I don't know if Tony Snell will be there, but Bruce, Stein, Seelko Diombo. He's been working hard this summer. Check his Instagram out. Looking forward to him being a huge piece and taking a step forward this year. But we'll see. I'm optimistic about the Pistons. We finally rebuilding. But our rebuild could have been a lot more easier had we traded Blake Griffin and Drummond a couple years ago and got something for him. Hopefully they'll make the same mistake with Luke Kennard. They're able to move him and get them a late round pick or get them an asset. But y'all know what it is. It's Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation? Cash App, $CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate personally is to share the video. Y'all know what it is. One time for the one time we gone.